hate it. But that's where the world would think. That's why the world have you, that's why I say you got to think contrary to the world. You're being rebuked, you're being chastened. So the world says, oh man, you know, why you serving that God? You know, he tearing your butt up. Don't you see that? Come on back over here with us. Satan loves you. Satan loves, Satan only is that love everything. Everybody. You know what I mean? Right. He's the only one that loves everybody. Come on over here with me. As a roaring lion, he's doing what? To devour you eventually. He make it look good, right? So therefore you go over there. Ain't that what he did with Eve? He said, you ain't gonna surely die. You're gonna have power to be as gods. She said, oh, that sounds good. Oh, I'm gonna have this power like that. And she felt it. And she went and brought it to Adam. Adam fell for it. See what I'm saying? So this is what we're dealing with. That tree of good and evil. He said, hey, you ain't gonna die. Most I done told her, you eat of that tree of good and evil, you gonna what? That day you ain't gonna live a day. A day to the Most High is 1,000 years. You're gonna surely die. So we ain't never lived a day. Nobody lived a day in the eyes of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? His word is true. So here we are now in these last days, looking to make it to the kingdom, and Satan had his rule all the way from the garden until now. Do women think of this? That he had his way starting with women? Do men think about how he gets into people's minds and spirits and have them operate under the spirit of Satan? To operate, to deal with you, and then now next thing you know, you are operating in the spirit of Satan. You done lost your faith in the Most High. And justify it. That's what our people do. Especially those in the carnal churches and so forth. Because they say, hey, we are under the law. We are mercy and grace. So you can't allow them to condemn you. You can't condemn yourself behind these negative spirits that will come into you, that will keep you from making it to the kingdom. This is all about eternal life. I don't know what's about y'all to y'all. This is all about eternal life to me. Period. What else can you ask for? You want something in this world? Everything you have is going to be burnt up. We're going to see a new world where righteousness prevail forever and ever and ever. That's why we got to look at ourselves and see if we're worthy to make it. But you can't lose your faith in the Most High, because that's the only thing we have. That's the only thing we have is faith in Him. Because you can't fight Him physically. This ain't no physical battle. It's a spiritual battle that we got to overcome. There's times when the Most High showed apparitions in the sky, man, like Esau got this blue beam that's holograms. You'll see people falling out, going out, thinking that it's their Jesus, as he put them in the sky, or they Muhammad, or they whatever it is. What the Indian people believe in, the yellow, the elephant god, or he gonna put everything around everybody to believe in whatever they believe in. You know, I mean, they gonna put all them things out there. See what I'm saying? Where the Most High had that actually happen in our lifetime, and we seen them fighting in the air and so forth for days and days. So don't get it twisted. That's why you got to know these scriptures and know the things that has happened. You know, Leviathan, he gonna raise Leviathan out. You know, Leviathan, that's where they got Gorgo first, and they had Godzilla. Y'all say Godzilla? Mm-hmm. That's Leviathan. You notice they never blow him up. They had a movie when I was coming up called Leviathan, where they said you can't blow him up because every part of them turned into another dragon. They blow him up, and every part of that they blow, everyone gonna turn into one of them Leviathan. That's why how you gonna kill it? It tells you you can't penetrate his scales. They're too close together. That's what could be dealing with this Bermuda Triangle. He could be going around in a circle and just bringing airplanes and everything down. Who knows? But he's gonna bring him up, man. He's gonna bring him up. Like he got Behemoth, what they call a Loch Ness monster. So far on the land, he got one on the land. He got one in the sea. He made a whole lot of things that's in this word, man. That's why you see he always messing with Moab and Ammon. They the ones came up with Godzilla, right? Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
First it was Gorgo, then it was Godzilla, fire-breathing dragon. Coming from where? The sea. All these things coming up. That's why I say we don't want to be caught up in that fight. We want to make sure that the beasts are at peace with us. But Most High gonna raise up some things they got some things in the sea, man. Most High allowed them to come out of that sea. They realize, yeah, I could breathe outside the water. And they're going to be eating people up. Because you're going to have that water come through, and they're going to be in that water. And people are going to be wading in the water. They're going to be coming, snatching people up, man. They got to fight the elements, tornadoes, earthquakes. I mean, this ain't just, like I said, this ain't just man against man. We're talking about a battle between all the elements. Storms. You know, he brings snow in June. He can do whatever he want to do. You know what I mean? These things have happened already, just showing off. Fire. But that fire they got in Canada, man. Y'all see that fire? They got a fire in Canada that's bad. You know. See all the people crying? Huh?
A fire in Canada?
Yeah. Unusual, right? Yeah. But California burn up every year. Malibu means don't live here. But my dad said don't live here. But they said he burned it up, we gonna rebuild. So he said, look, he said, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Say, so then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. What's gonna come out of his mouth? 2 Ezra 13:9. This is serious. That's why I gotta bring it to you so you see the scenarios of all that's gonna happen, man. Let's get ready to go down. Read.
2 Ezra chapter 13 verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held a sword, nor any instrument of war.
Because when we say gonna spew you out of his mouth, so what's gonna come out of his mouth? Read.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
A blast of fire, read.
And out of his lips a flaming breath.
Out of his lips a flaming breath, read.
And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
You want to be lukewarm? That's what he say for you, read.
And they were all mixed together.
What was mixed together?
The blast of fire.
The blast of fire.
The flaming breath.
The flaming breath, read.
And the great tempest.
And the great tempest, read.
And fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Yeah. So ain't gonna be nothing gonna be perceived but dust and the smell of smoke, man. For all those that's coming against him. You want to be lukewarm if you want to. He said, I'm gonna spew thee out of my mouth. That's what's coming out of his mouth. You see? So you don't want to be there. You want to make sure that you are on the right upstanding with him. You want to be right with the Mashiach Yahushua, man. You're going to be what? Burnt up. Burnt up. Period. You understand? Give me Ecclesiasticus 30 and 21 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 30 and 21. So I'm saying, this is why I'm bringing a balance so that you understand. You still got to tear yourself apart, examine yourself, tear yourself apart, but you still got to maintain righteous conscience to build yourself back up. But read this.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
Read it again.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 30 verse 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness.
So don't give over your mind to heaviness, man. Moping and groping and woe is me, being miserable, read.
And afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
Yeah, your own mind. Afflict yourself in your own counsel. That's enough long before you ready. Read that again.
Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
So you can't afflict yourself in your own counsel, man, the way you think. That's why we got it. What we dealing with as far as what we coming up with.
20 minutes.
Okay. See? What we dealing with? How are we coming up with the answers of how we should do self-examination? Through what? Through what? Through what? How are we coming up with this self-examination that we're going over right now? Hmm? Through these precepts that we're going over. Right? I mean, y'all, you should be writing them down so you can go over it yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to go over this whenever it's time for you to have the answers. You're not going to have them because you ain't wrote them down. You ain't taking notes. It's very important. When it comes down to applying this in your life and you missing it, and the Most High send Satan after you, to check you in a real way, and you say, wow, okay, well, it was not important. This not just something that you're dealing with. I'm not here dealing with this and to show you something just for now. You're hearing it now and then you just let it go out the window, out of your mind. This is something that's going to be applied in your life that works. This works. And the Most High know it's His word. I ain't write this. This ain't my interpretation of it. Ain't no private interpretation of this. It's the word of the Most High that we're going over to be able to make ourselves better. And to know, if you don't, there's a consequence. See, it's getting to the time that ain't gonna be no mercy and grace for Israel. When you lift up that mercy and grace, what you gonna be saying then? It was saying nothing but screaming and hollering.